All right, welcome back to the Majory, and we're doing our first ever EDH deck tech on the channel. Um, this is the first time that we'll be recording a video like this, and it's actually one of my favorite decks, and my favorite color combination in Abzan. So we have the partner pairing of Tymna the Weaver and Kodama of the East Tree. Okay, so I was actually inspired by a cedh deck that I saw a few months back from a YouTube channel that streamed a cedh tourney. So I strived to build that with the cards I have, and ordered a few more cards in the past few months. I actually entered this into a local league. Um, so shout out to EDH Tambayan. It's like uh, an online an online EDH game league here in the Philippines. So I entered this, did quite well. I think I only played a few games because duties of a dad. But yeah, so I'll talk about the deck, how it works, what's the win con, and yeah, I'll share a bit more about the cards as I go along. So okay, so the win con of the deck is actually Protean Hulk, Big Daddy Protean Hulk over here. And there are about a few lines that you can do with Protean Hulk. So everybody knows what Hulk does, I assume. So the first line would be the Relic Wanderer animate dead with the aristocrat. Either we have Disciple of the Vault here, or rather we have Blood Artist over here to ping everyone to death. The other line that we could do actually involves both either one of the aristocrats here, Blood Artist or Disciple of the Vault, and we get through Protean Hulk, Lesser Masticore or Melira, sorry, Melira, Silvault Outcast. So most of the time, to protect this combo, part of the Hulk creatures you get would also be Grant Abolisher. Yeah. So this is an Abzan combo deck that actually has a Stax package to let the combo do its course. So let's look at all of the things in the deck. First off, with the Stax package to slow things down. Of course, with Stax, it's important to know what you're up against. So this is tech according to the meta that I experienced. Again, this is actually one of the first times I've ever played on a higher levels or cedh level. Admittedly, my deck doesn't have all the parts, but I'm getting there. So my first stacks piece would be the Deafening Silence against all those storm decks, or those who like to go cast multiple spells a turn. And we also have Hushbringer against any fastest Oracle shenanigans. So let's go all the two drop stacks pieces first. Thalia, Guardian of Thrabin. Where, man, I gotta get new lights. Blind Obedience, Spirit of the Labyrinth, to really just slow things down to a crawl in terms of like drawing. Ether's Horn Canonist, Collector Oof. I really love playing this guy, especially against those dockside or red decks. Every red deck in the cedh level. Archon of Emeria, another rule of law effect, with a nice non-symmetrical, non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. And on the 4-drop slot, we have Linvala, Keeper of Silence. So those are my stacks pieces. And aside from that, to protect the combo, we have Silence, Veil of Summer, Destiny Spinner, so that our creatures will be cast easily. The aforementioned Grant Abolisher, and a Heroic Intervention to protect the pieces on the already on the board. Okay, next we have the oh sorry, forgot from the stack pieces we also have Aven Mind Center. So on the dork side, so my favorite color in Magic is actually green. Really gives me uh the joy of playing a lot of mana dorks. So we have Lanor Elves, altered by a good friend. Deathrite Shaman, Elvish Mystic, altered by me. I'm not a good alter person. Just picked up the hobby a few months ago. Elves of Deep Shadow, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Birds of Paradise, Findhorn Elves, and a Lotus Cobra. Okay, so Lotus Cobra actually plays well with fetch lands, and actually fetch lands itself themselves really play well with Kodama. There are some turns that you just power out a lot of stuff, a lot of the low cost stuff. And Kodama is really good in that regard. Um, okay, so for card draw, we have Skull Clamp. Late game, just sack dorks here, draw two. It's really really good. Another new, a very new card I have open from the first box I got is Esper Sentinel here, and it's sketchy alternate art goodness. We have Bob or Dark Confidant. I altered this initials over here. The Green Bob or Oakham Adversary, and good old Sylvan Library. I actually won this as a prize from a league a few years back, 2 or 3 years ago, 2018, I think. And then we have oldie but goodie Necropotence and Villis Broker of Blood. Okay, next file we'll discuss would be the tutors. So we have Worldly Tutor. A lot, or the combo and the deck itself is heavily creature based. Oh, there's a storm brewing. Literally. Not sure if you can hear it, but Worldly Tutor gets a lot of the creature pieces we need, the Stax pieces that we need. Really, really good card, of course. And if you need anything else, we have Vamp Tutor over here. Entomb, another one CMC or one mana value tutor, but it goes to the graveyard. So we'll talk about the reanimation package later. We also have Survival of the Fittest, one of my most favorite cards ever. Very, very strong in, I think, every deck that plays creatures. And the new art, Demonic Tutor. Picked this up fairly recently, and the art is just amazing. We also have Pattern of Rebirth and Razaketh. So Razaketh also combos with the Animate Dead and Leonin Relic Wanderer. So gotta so he's an overall very 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 strong card. So big demon. Okay. For reanimation, we have Reanimate, Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, Life, and Death. So usually we cast Death here, but in the previous league I joined, I actually cast it on the Life part because I was pretty low on cards. So I cast Life and I sacked a few lands to get to Skull Clamp and drew a bunch of cards. We also have Eternal Witness. Used to be a regrowth, but then I found like the use of like Ewit or Eternal Witness with Skull Clamp and other sacrifice things a bit more useful. And Karmic Guide. Actually, this should be a Body Snatcher, but like can't seem to find one locally here, and that's gonna be changed quite soon once I find it. For sacrifice outlets, I have Viscera Seer, Carrion Feeder, Altar of Dementia. Oh, this got misplaced. I also am running a Smothering Tithe to increase mana production, confuse the people if they'll pay or not. Okay, on mana production or mana rocks, we're running Jeweled Lotus. This is important to actually power out a fast Kodama. I've actually done a turn one Kodama. I think with of course with a combination of like mana rocks to get this boy out. Okay. Next we have Mox Diamond, Mana Crypt, and Chrome Mox. Then for one drop rocks, we're running Soul Ring. This is my favorite art. Soul Ring is quite, and I think it's the revised version. As an old Magic player, played back in the 90s, I really am partial to the thick white borders of the older frames. Mana Vault and Arcane Signet. So for removal, I'm running quite maybe just 5 cards. So we have Slaughter Pack, this and Snuff Out. So these two are quite good clutch. So because they can be cast for 0. So this is definitely you can just cast it for 0. But Snuff Out's alternate casting cost, yeah, of just paying for life if you control a swamp is really really good. In recent matches in our league, it I think I prevented a win from I think an Agila player, or I'm not sure, like a combo deck based on the commander with a Snuff Out. Other pieces of removal I have are Swords to Plowshares, Abrupt Decay, and my another newly opened from my newly opened card from my box is Damn. So I really like the modal ability of this, of either sweeping the board and or just taking out one creature. So I think I went through all of the non-lands already. So in terms of mana base, this is a work in progress because we're not made out of money. So for like lands that tap for a lot, I have City of Brass, Command Tower, Reflecting Pool. We have the 3 shock lands, Overgrown Tomb, Temple Garden, and Godless Shrine. I have the 3 on-color fetches. I actually have the rest, but even if I'm playing CDH, really something like it bothers me if I see different color fetches in my deck. So there we have the Abzan fetches. Maybe, yep. So Verdant Catacombs, Windswept Heath, and Marsh Flats. Then we have the OG duels, Bayou, Savannah, and Scrubland with the sweet revised thick borders. I also have the checklands here, Woodland Cemetery, Isolated Chapel, and Sun Petal Grove. And the Llanowar Wastes, Brushlands, the Painlands. I can't really find my Caves of Koilos. I think it's another deck of mine. And I also have the Pathways. Really love the art of the extended art versions. So we have Branchloft Pathway and Darkbar Pathway. The battle. Oh, sorry. So this is are the. I got these from a Commander Legends box, but these are Vault of Champions and Underground Stadium. So in a multiplayer game like EDH, they usually come into play untapped. So that's really really good. Scattered Groves. Another for with they have basic land type and they can be cycled late game. Horizon Canopy. So this is the only canopy land I have. I'm still working on finding a nurturing peat land and the forgot the name of the black white one. But once I get those in, so we're gonna be really good. Two other non-basic lands I have would be High Market. High Market is important to sacrifice a Hulk or any other creature that needs sacrificing, especially when they're gonna be exiled, because you want them in the graveyard. So yeah. Last non-basic land I have is Ancient Tomb. Taps for 2. Nothing more to say. Really, really good card. In terms of basics, I'm running, I think, 8. So I have 5 forests. So these 2 forests are unfortunate victims of me trying to alter some cards. Um, you have two swamps and a lonely plains. So yeah, so usually the way to play um Tymna and Kodama, the way it plays actually, it's not really a super fast combo deck. It is a combo deck, but usually the pieces are, you need stacks pieces to grind the game down to a halt so that you can assemble the Hulk line as you wish. Um, I'm entering into the, I think, the next league of EDH Tambayan, and I'm unfortunately I'm gonna be breaking this deck apart because I need the other pieces for another deck. And I don't have multiples of like the higher value cards. And actually that's one of the reasons why I decided to make this deck so that I can like preserve this deck at least in YouTube's memory or in the archives of YouTube. And actually, that's it. I'll post a link to my Moxfield deck list. Um, so you should play this deck if you're playing in a higher power level environment. You like reanimation. You like the aristocrat strategy. You like making people suffer. Over here in Tagalog, it's like I call it parusa, parusa gaming. Make everyone suffer with your stacks pieces. So there, this is Tymna and Kodama, Hulk, Abzan reanimator list. Thank you. This is the Majory. Like and subscribe, and ciao.